Hello, all, and welcome to this episode of the Endless Spiral podcast. You're all very welcome. I am, as always, your host, Keith Russell. On this edition, I am joined by the brilliant Jason Byrne. Jason is, of course, a big advocate of mental health and kind of keeping a positive mind, using meditation and all that type of stuff. Of course, I'm sure you're all well aware Jason has his own podcast called Mind Your Loaf, which he's ran in conjunction with the charity Turn to Me, which is a free online counselling service, and we'll have a chat about that as well. So, Jason, you're very welcome. So I think I said
Oh
your name
yeah.
about 10 times there.
I know. Yeah. Thanks, Keith Russell. Keith Russell. Thank you, Keith Russell. Jason Byrne here on this side.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have a Mind Your Loaf. Actually, the way it started was I was in Edinburgh and like everybody, you come to a different turn. Like I was, newly divorced. And this was before the. I know it's mad the way we use this as a verb before the COVID, right?
The COVID, yeah.
And I was, but I was, like anybody. I'm in the late 40s, and your life just starts to change. And what you do automatically is you just go, I'm completely changing my life. Like a lot of ladies will shave their head or dye their hair. They might do that, right? Where
Yeah.
men just like jump in a sports car or go off some sort of mayhem. But mine was, I'm not doing stand up anymore. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm sick of it. Right? And I went to meet a friend of mine, Colin Cloud, and he was one of my rules in life is always go to people that know what they're doing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And always go to qualified people. I always head to them. So Colin Cloud was a forensic scientist. You couldn't
Right.
go to a better person for some life advice, right? This man knows your brain inside out, right? Studied forensics for a year. Went in to the Scottish Met when he was, I think, 24 years of age was when he was employed by them, sitting in front of murderers and him telling the cops going, yeah, he's lying. No, he's telling the truth. No, he's lying, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I went, I'm giving up stand up. He goes, no, you're not. I went to him. He goes, are you going through some mad thing in your life? I was going, no. He went, what? I went, well, I'm kind of getting divorced. He went, that's pretty big, Jason. Right. So he says, so I wanted to go back to college and study psychotherapy and philosophy and all this stuff. And he goes, whoa, whoa. He was literally like I was on like a runaway horse, and he
Yeah.
had to jump on me and pull me back. And he was like, no, 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 one. And he goes, no, no. He says, first of all, what you do as a job on stage is brilliant for mental health. We all need to laugh, and we go in there, and it's true. I've had so many people come up to me after gigs going, I so needed that. I had
Yeah.
such a shit week. I've had low. I mean, my favorite little story was two little old women outside Edinburgh venue waiting for me. And one woman goes, this is Julie. She wants to say hello. And then the two of them just started crying. I was like, oh, Jesus. He's okay. And she goes, this is the first time she's been out since her husband died in 4 months. And she went straight to my gig, like, and she
Right.
just
Right.
goes, thank you. We just needed to laugh and forget. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Colin was
Brilliant.
giving out to me. He was saying, and you're not people need that. He said, if you want, you can mix your mental health chit chat in with the gigs. Do you know what I mean? Like you can spread the message that way. And he said, maybe start up a podcast. So I started up Mind Your Loaf. And my whole idea was a big lesson I'll say to anybody in life, and this is for everything, is always surround yourself by people who know what they're doing. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean? Like if you want to be an electrician, make sure you're surrounded by loads of electricians and not like fucking Deco from Finglas that I think I know how to do a plug. I think I know, right? Just get people who know
Yeah.
what they're doing. You know what I mean, Keith?
Yeah.
You'll know
Yeah.
people who know what they're doing.
Oh, trust me, I know.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so for Mind Your Loaf, I decided, I know, I'll go back to college, kind of, but I'll bring in all the guests of the stuff I want to know about. And if you listen to Mind Your Loaf, which is on Spotify and iTunes,
Yeah.
you'll hear me. I'm like a kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
going, what? Are you serious? So it's not me preaching, going, I think
Yeah.
you should all do this with your lives and you should meditate. I'm literally talking to a neuroscientist, Paul Moore, and
Yeah.
he's going, and my first thing to Paul was, listen, I don't know what neuroscience is. So you're going to have to pretend I'm like 7. And he goes, right, no problem. So every time he says something, I'm going, what? You're joking. Right. The way your senses are all connected, like your nose and your mouth and like stuff like that and all this. And your eyes was the mad one. He says your eyes are not connected to your spine. Sorry, your nose, I think, is it your smell or you see here already? I've already
Yeah.
forgotten. Well, see, I think you taste stuff immediately and you smell. But what you see, what you see goes down your spinal cord, right? Down
Right.
there. It goes down and then up into your brain. That's the massive delay. And
Oh.
then he says your eyes kind of tell you what you're seeing. And I went, oh Jesus. So I went on. I met like different psychotherapists, like Sarah Knight, the author, and I just started to learn a lot about mental health. And I thought, And then I started to get good traction on it, and people were just saying, "Oh, thanks a million for this, Jason. You know, these people are really good to listen to."
Yeah.
And so I just kept doing it. And
Yeah.
I find it really interesting. I look at it as a hobby of mine almost, because I do my stand up. That's my job. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And mental health is just, you know, and of course, as you said, Keith, you see me down doing sea swimming, right? Have you ever done that?
I haven't, but the wife has done it. I'm a coward. That's too cold for me.
Oh my God, right. So my mate John Lally, like he goes, you have to come down, right? And he's been annoying me for about a year. I was going, oh Jesus, like, so I always say that if you ever want to give up something or do anything, do it now. Like, don't go Monday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I went. So it was a Tuesday night, and I said, right, I'll see you in the morning, right? And he goes, all right, yeah, brilliant. 5:30 in the morning, the sun's rising. All these literally flip the lids are all down there. Like there's like GAA stars down there. There's like me. There's other like your man, what you call it, Derek off the TVA Ireland AM. He does the weather.
Yeah, yeah.
Derek's all, they're all down there, and they're all it was, I swear to God, I wouldn't have gone to a therapist ever if I knew that all them were down there. It's not the swimming, it's the socializing afterwards. It's just sitting with your cup of tea early in the morning.
PJ does it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, PJ's in Clontarf, so he doesn't come to Portmarnock, but he does a bit of that. But he's a brilliant swimmer. Like, I don't like swimming out of my depth even. I'm a baby. Yeah. Sure, he was with the fucking lifeguard out in the sea, and I was going, "You're a mad joke." So my mental health message very much is all about, I'm constantly trying to learn stuff, and so I started up a festival, Keith, which is going to be on the 3rd of July, and we call it Mind Your Loaf, Move, Breathe, and Laugh.
Right.
And I just wanted to put a bit of laughter into the mental health thing, you know, like, because Irish people react very much, like, really well to laughter. And there was this fella, Victor. It's Man's Search for Meaning, anyway, is the book, right? I always get Victor's name wrong. So I'm that bloke in the class that nearly has it right. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
I'm like going, it's Man's Search for Meaning, miss, and it's Victor. And it's like, burn out. Oh, shit. Anyway, he just said he was in concentration camps in the war. And he said the one thing that kept them going was laughter. They were like, literally hardly any clothes on, freezing in their bunks, but they're like slagging each other, like actually using laughter to stay alive. So I thought I could do this with this mental health festival. So I've got, like, you know, Bernard O'Shea coming in. He's a comedian, you know what I mean? And Gavin Oates is another, you know. Now it's not like a whole laughter. There's other experts like Pat Divley and all coming in, but it's just like a lighthearted, let's not all get really heavy on this all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And is it going to be online? Is it
it's going to be online. Mindyourloaf.com is where you can go and get the tickets. And then we're going to be Alone.ie is the charity that's connected to it. And I'm just trying to just do something for me. Again, I'm really interested in it. And I want to hear what all these other people have to say. I'm just going to be interviewing them. But again, it's like, here, are you like 7 or 8 years of age? What are you doing? I go, do you know, like, if you're angry, is that because you had too many Maltesers or Skittles? They're going, no, Jason, there's a chemical reason.
Sugar overload.
So we have Coach Cavan in there as well, Connor's coach and all. And these are all mates of mine, not ex-mates of mine. Yeah, they are now. They're gone, the whole lot of them. But no, it's just because the government aren't putting anything together for all of us to look after us. You know, I've noticed in the shops that there's not many people in the shops, even though they're open. It's not like packed. I don't know if you've noticed, they're kind of going back a bit slower because we're all a bit wary. And so this kind of thing that's online, I want to eventually move it into a venue. But it's not about making money for me, because we have to pay all our guests and all, and we'll probably break even, and then we give money to Alone.ie. I'm just being selfish. I'm kind of doing it for myself. So because I'm losing my plot because all my work is gone, and it's, oh my God, that's hilarious. I said all my work is gone, right? I'm not going to answer this, but that's my promoter, right? My promoter in to talk about Edinburgh. And I've no idea. This is really weird. My phone doesn't work in this apartment, and how is it ringing? Okay, that's weird.
There you go. It's meant to be.
So that's so all my work is gone, Keith, apart from, oh no, it's back. The phone call. So so I need my own mental health to be dealing with. So I'm just this is something I'd pay into to go and watch and see, because there's like Pat Divilly as well, and just cool people talking about different shit. Like, and and it's almost like, free therapy. Like a therapy session is
Yeah.
cheaper than this, or no,
Yeah.
dearer than this.
Dear, because I was going to ask you about that, about your podcast. Like, do you find that kind of therapeutic for you? I mean, even if you're not talking about yourself, but when you're listening to other people, it kind of, because I find doing this is quite therapeutic for me.
Yeah, it's just like I said with the sea swimming lads, like, and this thing as well. It's great. It's good to talk. Like, I've learned a lot about mental health. Like, I've learned that if you all just talk to each other, and like down, you can be talking about anything. You don't have to be talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Like, you be down there talking about like just all different things that are happening in your life. And yeah, but I found that with Mind Your Loaf, I was talking to experts. We spoke to one guy, Professor Rory O'Connor, who is a professor who deals with suicide, and he's been studying it for 25 years.
Yeah.
And again, like, I was trying to do an episode on that, but I was trying to, because there's a stigma with it. There's a natural stigma with it. You don't want to talk about it. And I thought, and it's this thing as well, because I asked him all this, because I said to him, again, that's why I love doing Mind Your Loaf, because I'm representing the man on the street and the man and woman on the street that would ask I think that what they'd want to ask him.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I says, look, we didn't want to do a podcast on this, to be honest. And he goes, why? And I says, because it's suicide. We didn't want to, like, it's a grim subject, and we always think that we might trigger somebody by talking about it. And he goes, no. He goes, you see, it's the opposite, he said. So anybody who wants to listen to that Mind Your Loaf, it's Professor Rory O'Connor, and he has great advice on, he says you should talk about it. You should ask people if they're actually going to be like that. See, I never knew that. See, I would have thought, you better say nothing, because there's all this talk about trigger words, If you say suicide to somebody, does that mean, oh my God, they're going to, actually try and kill themselves? And he goes, no, they don't. The whole point of it is that they're not talking to anybody. They're not communicating.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fantastic. And I said, 25 years of studying, that must be quite hard. And he goes, well, not really. And he's sitting there with a big flowery shirt on him and all. He's very funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And, and he has a lot of people connected to that. So again, I'm just constantly just trying to learn by like reading the books, listening to all these people.
Yeah.
And I know I do stand up, but I'm not a big preacher, because I always get my words mixed up. I always get them mixed up and muddled. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll do a TED talk when I'm like 70.
Do a TED talk, yeah.
When I just go, people go, yeah, I think he probably knows what he's talking about now. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do a TED talk now. I'd be going on and going, do you know your brain, right? It's like, there's one side and I think there's another. Is there another side? Okay, cut. What? You're off. Okay, thanks.
Because, like, I mean, but the topics you've covered on the podcast, I think you've about 20 or so episodes. I wrote them down here because of anxiety, suicide prevention, you've mentioned, like, even unemployment, meditation, neuroscience, you've mentioned relationships, and the list goes on and on. Because it's a wide range of topics that you've covered. It's brilliant. Like, I mean, it's kind of a bit of something for everybody. Yeah,
it was like, for example, Keith from 2FM, Walsh. It's Keith Walsh. Yeah, that's me with names now. I'd love to know. That's the next thing. I'm going to find somebody to teach me about that. Why I get names wrong when I think I'm getting them right. But Keith Walsh, he was on the Breakfast Show on 2FM. Keith was on there talking about loads of stuff, and it was great talking to him as well. Yeah, the wide range, because he was talking about, losing his job and going to therapy. But one of the funniest things that we were both laughing about was, like, when you go to therapy after a while, your family don't know who you are. They're all wondering, who's this dude? They're all going, like, because you're not the same person, because you know what it is. You're actually more honest. It's not that you're a different person. Yeah. I found with therapy, I'm more honest, but I'm having the crack saying no. Oh my God. Like, I have a mantra, which is never say yes unless you have the permission to say no. And Irish people cannot take it when you say no. Like, if someone says, do you want to go to that christening? And you go, no. They go, I'm sorry, what? No, but I'm asking you to go to christening. Yeah, no, I don't want to go. And then Irish people will either say yes, wish they never said yes, or will lie and go, me granny's really sick and I have to look after her. But the person you're talking to also knows you're lying, because they're Irish people, and that's what they do anyway.
Yeah, so I'm far too polite. Yeah, exactly.
Being honest is great, and nobody likes a yes person. People trust a no person way more. If you're in a boardroom and somebody's going, yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that person's out of there within a month. You want that dude or that girl in the room going, actually, no, I'm not doing that. I don't think you should do that. That's the one you're going to focus on.
Because at least they're honest. Yeah.
Yeah, they're honest, So my dad was like that. He was a nightmare. He passed away, but fuck me, he was so funny with the no. I'm not doing that. Tell him to stick it up his hole. Do you know what I mean? So it's honesty is another one I've learned. So Keith, we're talking about the therapy and then I said that to Dermot Whelan as well when you talk about meditation. I said it to both of them. I said, do you know now that you do all the mental health and the therapy, are you not any crack anymore? Are you no crack? And they all said that's mad because loads of people ask us that.
Really?
Like, they think that Irish people think if you go to therapy, like the crack will be taken out of you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you go, we're not going to therapy, it'll be no fun. Because Keith had a big drinking problem and he stopped drinking. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was a problem in so much so that he was just drinking just didn't want to be drinking that much. And same with Dermot, but that's why they thought you'd be no crack. Yeah, you can go there, they'll stop you drinking. Like I drink, do you know what I mean? But I don't drink loads and never have.
Yeah, you do it in moderation, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way it was. In fact, I remember one of my friends going to me in a pub. He just put his pint down on the table, looked at me and went, "You are fucking shit at drinking." Jonah. I was going, what kind of a sentence is that? What do you mean I'm shit at drinking? He goes, I'm on my third pint and you're only on one.
Shit at drinking.
Well, I don't really, okay, well, sorry. So,
yeah.
And so it does, yeah. So with the Mind Your Loaf, just learning and learning and learning. And it's only because I'm interested in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like I have a train set in my attic and I just keep adding on different things all the time. Different landscapes.
Yeah. But that thing you were doing last night, the check-in, was good crack as well. I mean, I suppose that's kind of part of it as well. I logged in last night. I didn't know what to expect from it. And I was like a disco. You were taking requests.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
I because since I was separated, I live here on my own, but my sons, they come down and they stay with me. The usual kind of separation, they move to different houses and all. But like it's check-in Sunday I just did because of the lockdown as well. When the lockdown was heavy, and I just thought like there's loads of and I couldn't believe the amount of people that live on their own now is amazing. And and I'm talking to British and Australians and New Zealand and people from like Norway and Sweden, and they're all kicking in, but most of them are on their own. And that was the idea of Check-In Sunday, just to make sure we're all okay. So again, I'm not on there preaching about mental health.
No,
it's a sociable gathering where, like, literally, we started talking about seagulls shitting on you last night.
That's right. Yeah. It's lucky you were saying.
Yeah, it was lucky. And my favourite line, because I get stand-up out of this now. I'm going, this is great. You're all writing me show. My favourite story was the girl where the seagull had a shit on her, and her mom then ran over to the shop to buy a scratch card and made her do the scratch card because it was lucky.
You got the child to do the scratch card.
Yeah, Check-In Sunday. I'm trying to build up the following as much as I can. Obviously, there's no money involved. It's just Facebook Live, and I have a great laugh, and I play tunes on the Alexa. They start requesting different tunes, and last night we found In Excess, and it was just, and it's making everybody happy again. It's just another way of forgetting about all the crap that we're all dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what they also say. Like, I watched a program about Alzheimer's. It was on it ages ago, and they went to an island off Japan somewhere. I can't remember. Of course, it's called the Wakamakamaca. Right? Again, I'd be in geography now, and my teacher would go, "We told you this yesterday, Jason. We told you the name." I'm going, I just know where it is because they've got like an animated brain. So they went there, and there was the most amount of people in the world that are over 100 live on this island. And they found out that the reason why they live so long is their diet. They have really good diet and they don't have any sugar or anything like that. A fella came up on a Honda 50. He was like 105 and he just hopped off and started talking to the guest or the host. And then the other main thing was socializing. They socialize a lot. They meet all the time. They talk in squares and they never stay on their own. So that's why I wanted to do, the Sunday night check-in, and I've also connected to alone.ie, which is it's a charity for the elderly, but we hate saying elderly, so I've made it up to say people who've been here for ages. That's what we've changed it to from elderly.
It's on our website now.
Yeah, people who've been here for ages is the .com. So and anyway, and they did the experiment on these English people, right, in this thing, and they found out that these were people who were mildly affected with Alzheimer's and stuff. They were just about to get in that, but they found that the more they socialized and talked and just messed and just had a reason, it started to fire the neurons in their heads and get them to think again. And then they also gave these other women and men, like they had to learn a language or a guitar, like something that would frustrate them, and that made them think again. And again, and as well as that, their diet. But it was all in all, it was all seemed to be just having the fucking crack is what helps you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
my mother, I have to say this, when my father passed away and my mum was immediately on her own because of the COVID kicked in my dad passed away in the February, and then March kicked in with the COVID, and then my mum had to cocoon. And I was talking to her on the phone and she was going to Lally and she was forgetting stuff and everything. And then eventually my sister moved in with her 2 kids. My mother's a different woman. She does not forget anything anymore. Her, like, all that stuff is gone. So loneliness, being on your own and not communicating with people is very much, it's like, you don't have to be a scientist to know that's just not good for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if there's anybody elderly, like, we need to be doing the old Irish thing. I sat on a bench here in Skerries with my son only 2 days ago, and we were having pizza, and there was an outfit and Elwyn walked by, and the outfit looked at us and went, "Yeah, you're not going to finish all that on your own, are you? Give us a piece of that." And then the Elwyn went, "Don't be giving him a piece." And they walked on. And then my son went, "What the hell's that about? Why did he say that?" And I went, "Because that's what we used to do as Irish people. We always spoke to each other, no matter who was who. So we just need to do that. Like I'll say hello to everybody that I see on the street or anything. And old people or people who've been here for ages, they absolutely love it when you say hi. Just go, "How are you?" You know what I mean? And they just like, they go, "Oh, hello, hello."
Yeah. I think it's a real country thing as well. Like, especially if you're even in the car and like somebody waves at you. Like, I don't think you get that anywhere else apart from Ireland, where people will wave. You don't even know them.
Yeah. No, a beep and a wave. It's brilliant. Like,
beep and a wave.
Yeah, and I think it's quite sad because a couple of the old people, when I'm walking by them, I say hello to them, they're not expecting it anymore. But they will say hello. They don't go, like, you always see someone coming towards you when I was younger, and you're going, "Right, better get ready for the hello." Now it's like people just with their heads down and just going, "No, come on, get back here, Ireland. We need the crack. How are you?" Do you know what I mean? It's like, and then like, you know, just some Elf or Elvin when you're at a bus stop just comes up to you and starts talking to you. Like, you know, just have the crack with them. You might learn something.
Yeah.
You know? Old people know a lot of shit, I can tell you. They're like, I remember when we had the last recession, I remember saying to my dad, "God, Dad, you're not freaked out about the recession?" He goes, "This is my 4th recession." I went, "What?" And then he sat me down and told me all the other. I was going, "Oh, jeez, didn't know that." So, yeah. Knowledge is power, lads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, come here. I've seen as this is also a bit of a sport podcast as well. Well, it's mental health in sport. We better go and chuck this in as well. You're sort of a Man United fan, aren't you? Sort of.
Yeah, so what happened was, I've been on Soccer AM. You know that on Sky?
That's what. Yeah.
I've been on Soccer AM 8 times, and I managed to not talk about Man United most of it because it's. So this is what it is. I'm a sports fan. So what happened was, I'll go to Australia and I'll be there for like 6 weeks, and then I'll watch the Aussie rules, and then I don't know what's going on with the Premiership because I can't be arsed because I can't watch it because it's on a different time zone. If I want to, I'll have to stay up late. So I kind of watch the scores and go, "Okay, that's fair enough." Then I go to Britain and I'm watching the thingy. Then I don't know about the Aussie rules anymore, and then I don't know about the GEA. Then I go and watch the GEA, and then I don't know what's happening. And so it goes on and on. So I'm one of these I'm almost like one of these guys with a radio station. I keep flicking through different radio stations. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on all the time. Yeah. So on Soccer AM, I made sure I wouldn't shut up so they couldn't ask me any, really, because it's pretty nervy when they start going, "So are you into the transfer window, Jason, in 1986? I'm going, "What? I don't know anything about the transfer window in 1986. And they're like, "That's like sacrilege on there." They go, "You should know."
Yeah.
It's almost, I used to have I mean, you're probably brilliant at it, but I just don't, and I haven't watched a lot of it recently because I found, and it was brilliant to watch the football back, because I went, the minute they start, that means our gigs will start. So they did start, but it just looked like they were training all the time with the no crowds. Because like all I could hear was like,
yeah.
I just got with it. Oh my God. And then you hear the ball hitting the net, clump. And then
yeah.
So I was going, I'm just not into it. So like, and then, you know, my son, so I'm a Man United fan, and then the rest of my family are Liverpool. Yeah. And the reason why I was a Man United fan was that my mum bought me a Man United bag when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I went, right, that'll do. I'll be a Man United fan. Yeah. And so I was a Man United fan forever. But I've got one of my favourite Man United stories was I was in Manchester when they won the Champions League in 1999. Was it 1999 with Solskjaer and all?
Yeah.
So I was in a pub with Pauline McGlynn, who is, Mrs. Doyle.
Mrs. Doyle, yeah.
Phil Jupitus, who you would have seen on Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
And this is a whopper. Paul Lamb, right? Who you don't know his name, but you'll know his voice. He is the voice from Come Dine With Me forever, for years. That's Paul, right? He's a comedian and brilliant actor. Paul is the biggest Man United fan I ever seen. He was showing me pictures when we were on set. We were all working on this sitcom. He showed me pictures of him in Man United in the trophy room with his dad, and they're both crying at every single trophy. They're like literally weeping, going, right? Let's go, Jesus, I'm not into it that. I'm not crying over a bleeding trophy. And they're going, I know, yeah. So he was watching the Man United game with us in the pub. And it went into, remember when they were down 1-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
When they went down 1-0 and then, wasn't it into extra time? Isn't that what happened?
The 92nd minute.
Yeah. And he left the pub. He went, I've had it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like leaving early in the stadium. He went, I can't do this. So, so you know what happened? Man United won, and the place went mental, and the whole of Manchester went nuts. And he said he was in McDonald's on his own with a burger in his mouth, looking out the window, going, "You are fucking joking!" And he missed it. He missed it.
Oh my God!
We stayed there, and then we were on the news the next day, and the news didn't even spot who we all were. They were kept clipping to different pubs, right? And we got so drunk we didn't even know there was a camera there. He just jumped in front of us, and then another camera went to a different pub. There's me, Paulie McGlynn, and Phil Jupitus all going, "Rrr," and nobody knew who we all were. And then, whatever, a couple of days later, the team came home through the town, and I've got Polaroids of Schmeichel and all with the trophy like waving down at me.
You on the bus? Were you on the open top bus?
No, they were on it. We were in the street.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a Polaroid because we no cameras then. No phone cameras. I had a Polaroid going, and then waving it, hoping nobody's there. But yeah, so the Man United stuff is pretty hard for me because my son's Liverpool as well, and one of my best mates, John Bishop, is Liverpool. And I go to Anfield with my son and John and all to watch games. And John still thinks I'm a Liverpool fan. And every time he goes, you're what? I go, I'm Man United. He goes, fucking what are you? Hey, what? And then I go again and he asks me again. I go, I'm Man United. He goes, what? I fucking, hang on. He just cannot get it into his head.
Yeah.
But it's...
Well, as you know, I'm a United fan as well. So, I mean, it's supporting them hasn't been good for your mental health over the last while.
No, but this is why I'm writing. And even my son is a Liverpool fan. He just said, he's 14. And he did the best sentence. He goes, Dad, we're just writing off this year. We're writing it off because it's not fair with the COVID. And it's not fair because of the injury, like people being sick, players not being able to play because of COVID is just not fair. That's just, how can that work? They had to start again because they have to build up. And then now the crowds were in, the FA Cup final and what was the other one that was on the other day? There was another one they were all at. The one that Leicester just played the other day. Leicester and Chelsea, they played again. It was to get into. It was a Premiership. It was to get into the Champions League.
Yeah.
It wasn't to get into. But you know what I mean? Leicester had to win or something. But anyway, they had a crowd at it as well. So it was great to see the crowd. 20,000 of them. Yeah. So, but being a Man United fan, and I think Solskjaer, I love him. You can't not like him because of what he did for us in that Champions League.
Yeah. He's a likable character, isn't he?
Yeah, but I always say this, and again, I just real simple. I've been on Soccer I Am saying, and this was when Mourinho was leaving Chelsea. You know the way he acts the bollocks at the end, so they'll get rid of him, so he'll get his money.
His payoff.
That drives me up the wall. And I was just going they're all talking, Chelsea's not doing well, and we don't really know why. And I'm going, they don't like your man anymore. I'm just not talking soccer speak here. I'm going, if I'm in a dressing room and I just don't like the manager, I'm not going to play well. I don't give a shit. And even though people said Alex Ferguson was like an arsehole, they still all liked him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still had that. He was clever with that, with his, how he managed them and how he was, like he was like a head teacher almost. Yeah. But he was a father figure to them as well because they were very young with him. And they also knew he was good at winning stuff. But Mourinho's a moany bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I had Pat McGibbon on the podcast last week. He played for United for 5 years, and he told a good story about when he when United were training at the Cliff, the old training ground.
Do you see, I don't know that now already. I'm already
Right.
in trouble for there. See, the Cliff, I go, the Cliff is the old training ground. I'm going to be writing this down. Go on, continue there, Keith. You'll see me on Soccer AM now in about 3 months. Yeah, look, I used to love when they all train at the Cliff. And they'll go, oh my God, Jason, brilliant. Go to a break. No more knowledge needed.
Yeah, you could tell this story. So I've built it up now. It's probably not that good. But anyway, he was only a kid. Well, he was he was just out of the youth team. And he was walking up the stairs, kind of the old, like a porta cabin where the manager's office used to be. And Alex Ferguson was walking down the steps. And Alex Ferguson said to him, all right, son. And he said, yeah, I'm good, Alex. Alex Ferguson just stopped and looked at him and said, did we go to school together? And Pal's like, I don't know why he's asking me that. He says to him again, did we go to school together? And Pal was like, no. And he says, well, then you don't call me Alex. It's boss or gaffer. And that's what he was saying. He said, it was the respect that he kind of, he wanted from everybody. It wasn't a dictatorship. It was just more, as you said, a father figure. He just wanted respect off everybody.
Yeah, and still, it's amazing that Liverpool are they get hated by Man United fans and vice versa. But it's Man United fans. I haven't really heard any of them go, "Hey, Klopp." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't hate him because he's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man. Do you know what I mean? And he's so brilliant at what he does. And he's hugging the players coming off. I spoke to, now here you're going to have to help me, because here we go. So the buyer for Liverpool, he used to be the buyer for Chelsea. So I didn't even know these guys existed. These are the buyers who buy the players, right?
All right, okay.
And because but that's how, for years I just thought the manager bought them. And then my mates are going, what are you talking about? No, they don't. The manager goes, I'd love that fella. And then the buyer goes and buys them, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's name, he's so famous. We'll have to Google him. Have you got your Google there? Have you got a Google?
Yeah. The director of
football.
Google
what?
The director of football. For who? For Liverpool?
No. He's the buyer for the foot. I don't know what you call him. He's he's the buyer for.
That's what he's called, director of football.
Is he?
Yeah.
This is great. Director of football. I'll know it if you say his name, and then everybody's going to go.
Soccer AM, be on to you first thing tomorrow after listening to this podcast. Great stuff.
No, it's not. It says Michael Edwards. That's not him at all. No,
his name's not familiar.
That's not him. He's not the bleed. No, he doesn't buy players. Anyway, doesn't matter.
We'll edit this.
I mean, I can't even remember the bleeding thing we were talking about when he was buying the players. What were we talking about before that? It was a great story.
Alex Ferguson, he wanted respect.
Oh no, Kloppy Klopp.
Klopp. Yeah, Klopp.
So basically, he was when Klopp came into Liverpool, he was telling me this guy. He says that when Klopp came in, he got rid of anybody in his backroom staff that was negative. Anybody moaning, anybody going. If he said good morning and they went, oh, I'm not really into this guy. I didn't have a good day. No, next minute that fella was gone. Right. One of the physios, apparently, who was there for years, was the moaniest bollocks ever. Just this little moany outfla. And so, and Klopp was going, you have your hands physically on my team and you're doing this bad vibe while he's rubbing them down. He'd be telling them some moany. Klopp sacked him, got rid of him. He went, no negativity in here. And that's how he works. He works with the whole mental health thing, which is brilliant.
Right.
And that's why the players work their arses off for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he always goes, and he has, of course, his angry moments as well. I mean, you've seen this season where he's had a few flip outs.
Yeah.
But normally he's smiley, big teeth. And of course, one of his, I think his mum or his dad passed away during everything as well.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard on him,
Yeah.
So, but again, still, what a great manager,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you reckon that Solskjaer will be staying? They keep saying he's out of there. No, he's back. He's gone. He's out. I love that as well. It's almost like, the end of Line of Duty or Game of Thrones, right? The two finales, and the public demand that you rewrite it. Will you?
Yeah. I saw you on saying that on Ireland's AM there a few weeks ago.
But what do you think? Oh, you hang on a minute. We'll just go off and cancelled something that cost probably billions to make because fucking Terry over there wants us to rewrite it. It's just ridiculous, It's that's what they do. Like with Solskjaer, you just have these fans going, we need to get rid of him. Can you imagine the management in Man United, the board, going, good morning, everybody. There was a fella on 5 Live last night. He wants to get rid of Solskjaer. Is that okay, buddy? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's grand now. He's gone.
He's gone.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your breath. It's not like in Italy, like in Italy where they stand in the bloody training grounds.
Yeah,
the fans, and just keep ranting until the fella's gone. Like that's
they've got their ultras, haven't they? Yeah, you call them ultras, don't you? So come here, listen. Before I let you go, because you probably have to call your promoter back.
That could be really good news or shit news, Keith. Now this is something I've learned about mental health. It's going to be good news.
Because it's going to be good news, yeah.
I totally believe that. All that stuff. Whatever you throw out into the universe, you bring it back. There's no science to that. If you're a moany shit, you're going to basically implant that moany stuff into your head, and that's all. You'll just make bad things happen to you. Do you know what I mean? Because if you stay positive and happy, like that'll be how it works. You know what I mean? Because people will want to work with you. People want to do more stuff with you. Because you don't want someone saying Jason Byrne. They go, oh, not that moany shit. I'm not doing that. Yeah. They want, oh yeah, he's good fun. Yeah, he'll do it.
Exactly.
So there's going to be gigs on the end of that phone there now.
There is. Yeah, exactly. You do that, yeah, exactly, yeah. So come here before you go. Tell us quickly about your Instagram fitness videos you're doing, because I'm interested to know a bit more about that.
About the fitness?
Yeah.
Well, I ran for years as a kid. I ran in competitions and everything. I was in a running club, which was the worst thing I ever did in my life. Like, we used to meet, run around housing estates, and then get our coats and go home. It was shit, right? So, and then we run the Phoenix Park in the rain. So I'm a runner, right? So I love running. It releases endorphins and that's free, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll go on to Portmarnock Beach, as I say, and I'll run up and down that, and it's just the best feeling ever. It's not for everybody. So I trained online here in me gaff. So I did Facebook Live, and I started letting people join in with my training, because I had a trainer, Adrian Harrington, and he had taught me loads of different things how to do that. And so I just did his routines with other people. And people just started joining in. It was so funny. And loads of them weren't even doing it. And some of them were in Australia going, I've got a wine in my hand and a biscuit. Does that count, Jason? I go, yeah, that counts, yeah. So for mental health, and I'll just tell you as well, again, not me saying this, but Paul Murd, a neuroscientist and psychotherapist, I said at the end, I says, if you have just a couple of lines or sentences on how we can help our brains, what can we do? And he said, right, don't eat processed food. Eat food, that's good for you and all that. He said, and then he said, meditate, which I thought was amazing. He said, meditation, it's been around for thousands of years. It works a treat. And he said, and exercise. You have to exercise. And he says that can be walking the dog, running around, or doing anything like that. So the exercise I do just helps me so much. And so I have another friend of mine called Irma, and it's IRMA, Irma Fitness. I now train with her online, but I tell you what's brilliant. Go to her Instagram, and she does free training. She does sessions in all her little boxes, and just follow her. And they're free, and they're that's your workout. One of those boxes will be your workout, and she has loads of different ones. She's very good.
Yeah.
So I do that with her now.
Yeah, very good. What's her Instagram name?
Irma Fitness. So IRMA Fitness. And she's Lithuanian, and she is she did Thai boxing, and she also puts up loads of nutrition stuff, literally dinner that I'm going, the amount of colors in that, because my dinner, her dinner looks like a rainbow. Mine just looks like a McVitie biscuit.
Yeah.
As sad as that. It looks like cardboard mixed in with with a bean. It's just I'm like crap at cooking, but I'm getting better.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But that's the thing with the whole mental health. I mean, as I said, the festival I'm doing, I've called it Move, Breathe and Laugh. And if you can try and move, and moving, I mean moving as in I even said you can sit in the jacks and just move your feet left to right while you're having a shit. It doesn't matter. That's still moving. Breathing, it can be do what my dad did. He used to go out to a shed and just sit there, listen to the radio, but he's still kind of meditating in his own way.
Yeah.
And then laughter is just brilliant. Just make each other laugh. Like when my dad passed away, we were lucky enough to have the funeral, and all we did in the pub was spent the whole day laughing about him. Do you know what I mean? And that helped. My mum was crying, laughing about him and the mad shit that he did. So it really helps. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, really is. We better let you go, Jason. That's been.
Yeah, I'd better ring Bleeding Ed here now. See what's going on. Listen, good luck to Man United now. Look, next year I'll be on Soccer AM again, and I'll watch me, and you'll go, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Have me on speed dial.
Anyway, I'll be there going. No, I'll have you in an earpiece. Key, what's got? Who are they buying? Who are they buying? Quick, who are they buying? Even my own son goes, "You are a total spa, Dad." Because he's a Liverpool fan. He goes, yeah, typical Man United. You don't even know your players.
Yeah. It's all good crack, I suppose. Very much for doing that. Guys, I'll let Jason go. That was actually really, really good. It was great crack. And I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye for now.
Right. Okay, I'm leaving you now. You ready?